Welcome, Kurt Curtis coming at you today from the Full Octane Garage. It's Thanksgiving Day and I decided that I needed to be down in the shop doing a little bit of work before Turkey Day. So today what we're going to do is the underside of the cab of our 1950 Chevrolet pickup truck. We decided not to paint it. We decided to use a product called Raptor by U-POL, which is a bed liner. And we're going to spray that underneath the cab because it hides imperfections. Really will minimize the amount of work that we'll have to do to make the underside look really nice. And once this surface gets on, it has a texture to it that hides many of those imperfections. So we've masked off the truck. We've got the truck tilted forward so that we can get to the bottom of the cab. We also are going to do the inner of the front fenders, the inner fender wells, and also the inside of the front fenders. Now, U-POL is a product that we actually used on our Project 56 Corvette. We did the whole underside of that fiberglass Corvette with the U-POL. We used it for about 1,000 miles before we sold the car, but it just looked fantastic under there. So what we've decided to do is use a product called Raptor, and it's made by U-POL. It's a two-part urethane bed liner, and the application goes on quite nice with an air sprayer. It comes with 4 bottles of bed liner and a can of activator. And so the clever part about this system is you don't need a specific spray gun to use it. This is your container for the spray gun. So you open it up and you fill the activator up to this level on the line, and you shake it for about 2 minutes after you put the cap back on, obviously. After you've shaken it, you take the cap back off, and U-POL has this clever little gun that sprays screws right on top of the bottle. And then you can take it out to the shop, do all of your spraying with this. When you're all done, you toss the bottle, and you can clean the gun out just by spraying lacquer thinner through it, or a solvent-based system. But lacquer thinner seems to break this down quite nicely. So the system cost, it's not cheap. 4 bottles of this stuff, enough to do a large pickup truck bed. It's probably 100, 125 bucks, something in that range. But it is tough as nails, and the beauty of putting it on the inner linings of these old fender trucks, very much like this car, if a rock comes up, there's no inner liner in these old technology vehicles, and rocks will ding the outside of the paint. So it's very important to try to have some kind of buffer, so when stones and rocks and things come off your tires, hit the fender, they're going to hit this U-POL bed liner, which has a little bit of, it makes the fender a little bit harder. It also is a 4 or 5 mil surface that will stop the chips from going all the way to the outside of the fender and affecting your paint. So we recommend it highly on any of your projects. There's probably some other systems that work equally as well. We just haven't tested those. We have tested this one. We feel very comfortable with it. We've thought about doing lizard skin in the past, which is a water-based product. The only, since I haven't tried it, I'm not sure what the long-term finish is, whether I'd have to top coat it with paint. The beauty of this is you don't have to top coat it. It wipes down with soap and water, cleans up very nicely, just like a bed liner in a truck. Well, all the masking's done. What we did was we tilted the cab on end, on the front end of the cab itself, so that we could get to the bottom of this to spray the bed liner. We went through and took some seam sealer and tried to level out some of the rough areas, because the bed liner should give a nice texture and hide a lot of these imperfections. And we've got all the fenders masked off. Everything's on the truck's been painted, so we have to protect the finish of the paint. We've waxed and greased everything real good. We're also going to do the inner fenders. Well, it's been about an hour and a half since we sprayed on the last coat of Raptor U-POL. As you can see, the texture looks fantastic. It's dry to the touch at this point, but it is still a little wet. So right now is the time to go through and untape any of your tape seams that you had. Make sure that your tape is loose from the Raptor so that when you pull the tape off, it's going to be much easier once this stuff sets up, because it is going to set up pretty hard. As you can see, I've gone through all of my tape lines and I've broken them free so that we don't have any issues pulling tape off after the stuff dries hard. The texture looks fantastic. It's nice, even texture. Same thing on the inner fenders. It's well worth taking the extra time to mask everything off, make it look right, blend your texture where any rough spots are at, and it makes the job look extremely professional.
Thanks for joining us today at the Full Octane Garage. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you liked what you saw, please don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to our channel and like us on Facebook. Also, we'd love to have some feedback on what you like, what you don't like, and things you'd like to see in the future. So leave us some comments. We'll look at every one of them and see what we can do to deliver on your request. Again, thanks for being with us.